It is the We Are You Morning Crew. Good morning to you, and especially you. I'm so glad you are here with us today. Ladies and gentlemen, when I recreated the platform WERUradio.com in 2018, it was my first inkling to make it a platform for the artistry of the LGBT community that was mostly and still currently ignored on terrestrial radio and what we see as commercial radio, mainstream radio. And then as I began to, go through that, I also realized that this is a platform to raise awareness on issues that affect our community. And as we've been giving you information throughout this year of all the bills and legislation that is being passed that is anti-LGBTQ in its writings and mainly anti-trans in its writings, here in our very own state where WERUradio.com is lodged and headquartered in the state of Georgia, there is a bill that is going to affect yet again the trans community. So, Lioness, I'll let you take the lead, give our listeners the details on what's going on, and then we'll give our opinions and how we're feeling about this.
Yes. So I want to tell you a little bit about this bill. And so here in Georgia, as in a lot of places around the country, there is an attack on the civil liberties of folks in general. The government is trying to make an attack on people's bodies and their right to privacy and their right to make informed decisions with their care providers about what's best for them. One such bill here in Georgia that was voted on last week in the House is called Senate Bill 140. Senate bill came up Thursday morning, and it was tacked into a bill for Thursday morning, and they're trying to push this anti-trans bill targeting trans youth. Now, parents and supporters of transgender children expressed devastation at the Gold Dome on Thursday after the Georgia House voted to pass an amended version of Senate Bill 140, which would ban surgical and hormonal treatment for minors diagnosed with gender dysphoria and criminalize doctors who treat those children. Georgia is one of at least 21 states where at least 85 similar bills are in play or have been at play this year. Parents and transgender children will gather for a prayer vigil this morning at 9 a.m. So that started at 9 a.m. at Central Presbyterian Church in downtown Atlanta. And then they are heading to the Gold Dome, to the lobby against so that they can talk about a lobby against this final passage, which could happen as early as this morning. So at 10 a.m., there's a group of us going down to the Gold Dome to advocate for trans kids and at the Georgia State Capitol, that is Capitol Square, Southwest Atlanta, Georgia, 30034. Now, the bill would likely go into effect immediately to governor's office for his signature. George, I am just feeling a way about this, and I just really want people to know, if you're interested in really using your voice in this moment, we need you to stand with us. We need you to articulate and use your voice. And even if you can't go down to the Gold Dome today, we need you to contact your representative and tell them to vote no on Senate Bill 140, because it will actually negatively impact trans youth, denying them critical care that they would need. And it would also criminalize doctors from being able to provide trans services for trans youth in Georgia. There are so many components of this bill that could be detrimental to our lives, but more importantly, as Georgians, we should be concerned about this attack on our civil liberties, our right to privacy, and the right to make decisions about how we want to raise our families. George, what are your thoughts?
You have been very, very diplomatic in your dispensation of this information, and for that I will congratulate you. I'm a little more passionate about it because it angers me, because I see the evil that is behind it, but it presents itself as a will to protect. Let me first say that these bills that are being passed around this country are in the guise of protecting families and children. But I want you to know that it is very, very much the impact and the will of privileged principals that of a patriarchy that has allowed itself to discriminate openly through legislation. These
Uh-huh.
people have given lots of money to Ted Cruz's and Trump's and Kemp's and all of these Greens and all of these Bombards and all of these people that you hear openly saying, we're protecting kids, we want to save the kids. It's never been about the kids. It's been about protecting patriarchy. Let me be clear. If the state of Georgia was wanting to protect kids, then why is the foster care system in Georgia failing kids? Georgia has one of the highest rates of children in foster care in the United States, and the state's foster care system has been criticized for its high turnover rate of caseworkers. They can't even keep people to take care of the kids that are in the system. They have inadequate funding, a lack of resources to support children in care. These issues have resulted in children being moved from home to home to home and not receiving the proper care and support they need. But there's no legislation that has changed this situation, but it's about the kids. The juvenile justice system. Georgia has been criticized for its juvenile justice system, which disproportionately impacts children of color and low-income families. The state has been accused of incarcerating children for minor offenses, failing to provide adequate education and mental health services, and using solitary confinement as a punishment. But these laws that they're making about the children, if it's about the children, why do these types of systems exist? Education in Georgia. They have struggled to provide adequate education. We're number 39 in the country when it comes to
Wow.
education. But